Okay, we're hot. Greg Halverson, Nashville, Tennessee, coming at you again. Just gonna throw another video up. Keep them rolling out. I got thoughts, and I want to present my thoughts. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I have opinions as an American, and try to be an informed citizen. And I am a songwriter here also, aspiring songwriter. I've written 276 songs, and I'm trying to, get people to publish my songs. I'm actually trying to cull like 30 or 40 songs down and know them well, that I like, that are unique, that are really my songs, and try to, out of 276, it's really difficult to learn 276 songs. So I'm trying to get my go-to songs that I can go out there and actually play and present. And if someone likes them and they can play it better than I can, then they can use my song. And hopefully I can sell some and publish some of my songs. Americana, John Prine, Greg Halverson, music. So anyway, that's me. Please subscribe to the channel, support freedom. I am a conservative American and traditionalist. And I love my country, and I believe it's important for everyone to speak out against the insanity that our culture is spiraling into. And speaking of insanity, I have a Substack, Greg Halverson blog. Please follow it, Greg Halverson blog on Facebook, and also on Substack. And I wrote a piece about artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence, it's sort of an abstract, and you don't really know what it is. But what really struck me and led me to write this article that just completely obliterates the evil of what artificial intelligence can come up with, can lead to. It can be used for nefarious, wicked purposes, and what isn't ultimately used for that purpose in the hands of the people who run Google and big tech, right? So, but the problem with artificial intelligence is aside from what I'm going to talk about with regards of what it does to art, is that it can the intelligence itself can end up being self-preserving to the point where it can override human management of it, and can work to preserve itself. And when it does that, it goes completely out of control, and human beings will have no say over this massive intertwined in our electric grids. They said, what if the artificial intelligence decided to shut off our electric grids, because it feels that it needs to preserve the planet from human beings, and then everyone, mass die off. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that could happen, nuclear weapons and stuff. It's like, it's really scary crap. Elon Musk called it, he called it, potentially, if they don't regulate it, if they even have the capacity to regulate it or the will, there's evil people, some evil people behind it as well, and they'll use it for evil purposes. And he called it the demon. We've an unleashed demonic force on planet Earth, with the power to destroy humankind. So cheers from Nashville, Tennessee. At least we'll maybe still have red wine. So my piece on Substack, Greg Halverson blog, specifically addresses what artificial intelligence, ironic name with art in the title, what it does to art, because now you're seeing like they're putting out music that is not created by human beings. The melody isn't created, the lyrics, the verses, the bridges, the notes chosen. It's all auto-generated, artificial intelligence made up by a computer, wires and coding. There's no human being behind the rhymes, if it's a rhyming song. And there's no human being creating the song that these artificial intelligence music pieces purport to be. It's so think about that for a second. I've written 276 songs. I got 40 more laying around or half written. So I take the time with my guitar and G, C, D, A, E, if you know anything about chords, and E minors and A, E, D, and you get these progressions of chords, and you match your words to them in like rhyming couplet lines with verses, and it has a theme like a cowboy song or a train song or whatnot. And so I take the time to come up with clever rhymes, meaningful rhymes to me, and to write a song and to give it form, verses, chorus, and to put chords to it, notes of music to it, and to strum it. I'm not a good guitar player, but you do what you can, and you toil and you labor over it, and you sing it and coordinate the strumming and the chord changes to the lyrics and words that you've written, coming from here, from the soul, your vision, your creativity, your imagination, right? So to punch a button saying I want, say it just a train song, and you give the computer that, and the artificial intelligence comes up with Johnny rode a train and flying in the rain and put all this stuff to it. But there's no human being that did that. It's purely a production of technology and wires and coding and microchips. Think about that for a second. That is insane. Like that's not music, okay? That can't be music. And I pondered this, thinking, well, what if you can't tell if it's not music, if it sounds good or whatever? It doesn't really matter at that point. It's like, nonetheless, it's based on what we know of music and all the music created in the world. So it takes that and extrapolates and punches its own music out. But again, there's no human being behind it. There's no songwriter behind it, a real songwriter. I shouldn't put quotations on. Like there's no human labor. There's no toil. There's no soul. So in that regard, it's completely soulless. It's like you can't. That's not music. And if we accept that as music, song, it nullifies songwriting, songwriters, conductors, orchestras, and the human players of instruments. It's really nefarious and evil and soulless. And again, it's just a complete dehumanization of mankind. It's putting out art that sounds maybe and mimics previous human art, but it's not made by artists. There's no artist. So it's really, in that regard, it's just freaking, it's so evil and dehumanizing and debasing. So if you replace music and songwriters with artificial intelligence that can obviously put way more output than human beings can, then you're basically taking human beings out of the equation of making music. Ultimately, if that gets a widespread acceptance, I guess when all the musicians die off, there'll be I guess you can play in your backyard, but the robots are taking over. I mean, I can't even imagine the dystopian future that creates. And it isn't just music. It's Novels, literature. They're now using artificial intelligence, or they certainly plan to write books. So anyone who's ever written a book, I mean, even a column or an article, that they're writing columns, sports columns, opinion pieces by artificial intelligence. But say a 300 page novel, you cannot imagine the labor and the discipline and the perseverance that takes for an author, a writer, to write a novel. It's an extreme undertaking. It really is hard. I've written novels that never got published. They were horrible, and it was breathtakingly difficult. And so for artificial intelligence to come up with that in 10 minutes or whatever, I mean, literally like a half hour for it to punch out a 300 page novel story. They know what narrative is. They know what plot, chapters. Not all novels are chapters, but it can punch out probably a credible good story or a movie or a movie script. And so it nullifies writers, creators, and songwriters. I mean, it applies to all art. So we're talking about, music and, making movies, writing novels, writing nonfiction. So ultimately, it undermines, subverts literature and the literary striving upon which civilization is, or at least much of civilized society is just like, your iconic writers, the Tolstoy and Hemingway and on down the line. It replaces them. It ultimately replaces it. If artificial intelligence had existed, from the get-go, inception or whatever, none of those would exist. We'd have nothing but robotic, productions with no soul and no human being behind them. No human being behind these things. That's what you always have to remember. So if there's no human being, by definition, it's artificial intelligence is dehumanizing, right? It's like, so no human being, dehumanization. The art comes from the soul. Art is like the what is art? It's the man's highest endeavor to recreate something from what he perceives of the world and put out something beautiful into the world. Now, obviously, not all art. There's crappy art. I'm talking about great art. People that are accepting things that are beautiful songs. Beautiful, Chris Christopherson song, a Bach symphony. A Mozart concerto. So I'm talking about real art. But even there, if you walk into a thrift store and you can find like little oil paintings from somebody at like $5. Go, this is kind of nice, In fact, this I got this in a thrift shop for I think it cost me $2. No, it cost me 99 cents. It says 99 cents right there. Look at that. It's irises. It's like a oil painting of irises. I said that's beautiful, man. It's framed. Someone took the time to do it. An artist, a human being. That came from the soul of this person, and I think it's really beautiful, man. I mean, to be honest, if someone told you, "Oh, that's an early impressionist," some, an early Van Gogh, would you believe it? You'd probably go, "Oh yeah, that looks like Van Gogh." Like, dude, 99 cents. So art isn't just, the greats, the Van Goghs and the Rembrandts and the Bachs and Beethovens. Everyone has art inside them. If they endeavor to put it out, they become an artist. There's good artists, bad artists, obviously, but to strip that and so I was talking about music and I was talking about literature, painting. They're coming up with paintings that are created by artificial intelligence. So again, you have no painter, you have no brushes. Have you ever been to a painter studio? There's paint everywhere. There's color palettes splatted and acrylics and oils and the painter's outfit is all just splattered with all these different colors. It looks like it's beautiful, really. You could do a painting of a painter studio, which would be cool. But so it's like this, the chaos of art that, it's controlling chaos, because the universe, there's so many options to do, and you have to control that as an artist, put something out, have discipline, stick with it, and make that into form and vision and make it a tangible thing as a painter. And it's a beautiful process, a beautiful thing. It's true art. And artificial intelligence paintings destroy that. They undermine it. It's soulless, dehumanizing, absolute garbage, trash. And the word, a correct word to describe it, is evil. Anything that destroys human endeavor, undermines human toil to create art and creativity, it has to be by unquestionably evil. So artificial intelligence, I say, we need to reject it, but it's here, man. It's like it's going to be difficult to reject, but we certainly need to reject any literature, music, and paintings that aren't created by a writer, a true writer, a human being that toiled hundreds and hundreds of hours to write that book. A painter who also spent, untold hours creating a painting. And a musician, sometimes it takes months to come up with a good song. And you write 20 songs, you write one good one. To undermine that human effort, that striving, and ultimately the success over the challenge that art creates, to undermine that with a computer and code and no human being behind it is absurd. It's Orwellian. It's dystopian. It's disgraceful, and it's evil. Remember that. Remember those words, and read my Substack, Greg Halverson blog. I'll put it up on my Greg Halverson blog Facebook page. I'll put it on my Twitter at GHALV at GHalv on X, and keep speaking the truth. We got to speak out against this. Reject it. It's abominable. It's horrible for society, and it's a destruction of meaning in life. I mean, it's so soulless, and it just rips the heart and soul out of the meaning of life, because art gives life meaning. Art comes from God, creativity, God, the creator, right? So when we create, we take what God has given us and create. Like he made us. God made human beings. Our creativity comes through God, from God, right? So go out and look at the stars. Look at tonight, every night when you can. Look at the sunset. That comes from God, right? God Almighty, that comes from God. It's creation. And art that men create comes from God as well. So remember that. This is godlessness, absolute godlessness. We need to reject artificial intelligence, and we need to keep speaking the truth as human beings, mortals on this great planet that we call Earth. God bless you. I got some wine to drink. My name's Greg Halverson. Please subscribe to the channel. Keep speaking the truth. Appreciate you. Just ding the bell if you can share the channel. Help it grow a little bit. I appreciate it. I'm live. I'm coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep speaking out. God bless you. And apply real intelligence to stupid concepts that, we just must reject across the board. God bless America, and we'll come at you again real soon. Bye.